There's all of these different mediums and methods and tools that you use as an artist, but the most important tool is your soul, however you choose to conceive of that, and your mind. So it's one of the reasons why I call myself a multimedia artist, because for me, it's the art is the thing, and being able to use a variety of different mediums and techniques and methods is all just part of it. From a very young age, mark making and image making was a very big part of my identity. I'm very compelled by transformative, gender-oriented imagery and ideas. Being a new mother really opened up and tapped into a lot of that kind of imagery for me, but at that point it's all still very much in my sketchbook. I had my hands full of a baby, but I taught myself how to paint with pixels of light. And I really developed that as an art-making tool. It led to my working as an illustrator in the science fiction and fantasy industry.
When Galen first started working on this thesis project, she had to kind of physically turn away from any sort of illustration or image making, and she had to figure out her entire technical process.
She was using digital animation and video projection and video mapping and installation elements, all of these things kind of synthesized together to say what she had been trying to say all along.
Utopias and dystopias. I'm also looking at origin story myths, how we construct our meaning in life. This is what makes us human. I love the fantastic. I love the world building in a distant planet far away, but these stories are still things that can actually reveal such pivotal things about us as humans. I had been working with fragmentation and reclamation of imagery, birthing symbols and rebirthing symbols across a variety of different belief structures. A lot of fluid is usually involved in all of the rebirth narratives, like the baptism, the born of blood, just the actual visceral reality of being born. I actually had to transform my studio space to create this environment where I could control the light. Basically, I created a womb where I could gestate these new ways of working. Unfortunately, building a false ceiling in my studio didn't go over well with the fire marshal. I was able to come out of the womb.
With fluid, you've got this shapes that could represent fluid kind of dripping down like water. Could also be kind of an eyeball shape. Magic of video mapping kind of makes these floating shapes feel like they have depth and that they're windows into another world.
This is the feeling that Galen was going for, is to have this sort of magic. How is this happening? How are these images changing? How are they floating in space? People are very much engaged with the projections, and then I like seeing how the projections sometimes cast a glow on people, on the visitors of the gallery.
That was kind of what I wanted it to be, was that. A lot of my work is my exploration of my identity. Throughout all of human history, identity has been constructed.
The work is dealing with this rebuilding or refinding identity. It's fun for me to sort of think about this moment kind of frozen in time where these droplets are coming down from above. These will then, gravity, will kind of carry them down through and they'll puddle up. We see that moment of fragmentation right before the self congeals.
I wanted this to be more about joy, to be something compelling and magical, and for there to be an element of wonder and discovery, to be able to see how things just beautifully shift your perspective in this fluid way, and each new view reveals new things and changes how you experience everything that you're looking at. It's an open invitation to see a more expansive way of being. Let's be together, let's exist together, let's be changed together.
Hi, I'm Tom McNamara, host of Arizona Illustrated. Thank you for watching this Arizona Illustrated story here on YouTube. And if you like that one, well, here's another story we think you'll like.